Good morning, investors and traders. This is Naeem Aslam live from London, and welcome to our daily update on our YouTube channel, in which we really give you an information which can become a part of your trading plan. And more importantly, what we do is we filter out the noise from the market, or the fundamentals, of which the market is really trading on, primarily just literally noise, and give you the information which matters the most. And today is one of those days where you really need to make sure that you are filtering the noise and you're paying attention to fundamentals. So that is, as the title goes for this particular live update, that it is all about margin calls, how those margin calls are issued, why they are significant, what stocks are involved on back of that, and more importantly, where is the opportunity? Should you buy those stocks? Should you be selling those stocks? And I'm speaking of big Chinese companies. I'm speaking of Tencent. I'm speaking of Alibaba. I'm speaking of GK Technologies, and over in America, Viacom. All of these ones are major companies which are under immense pressure, and on back of that we are also seeing some bank stocks which had massive exposure because they gave big leverage to this particular fund called Hwang Archegos. They are also under massive pressure, where their stocks have dropped to 14%. So of course we will discuss everything in this section and much more, covering cryptos and of course commodities and cryptocurrency, and Forex as well. So my name is Naeem Aslam. I come with a wealth of 15 years of trading experience. During this time period, I have worked as a hedge fund trader for Bank of New York Mellon and as an equity trader for Bank of America, and currently working as a chief market analyst for EverTrade. Now, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, guys, please do so, because this will give you guys an opportunity to ask me as many questions as you can while we are live. And of course, if you like the content, do smash that subscribe button as well. So what is going on in the market, folks? What I am really expecting in the market is a further sell-off for some of those big Chinese names. And I'm speaking of Baidu, I'm talking about Tencent Music, Alibaba, Viacom, CBS, and of course the banking stocks as well, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. We could see many other names joining this one as well, because over in Europe we are already seeing banking stocks like Credit Suisse, which is a wealth management bank, but it had a massive exposure to this Hwang's Archegos, a particular fund, and that's banking stock is down by 14%. Basically, the stock has dropped below 200-day simple moving average, which is a massive opportunity in terms of a buying. I'm really referring to, but more sell-off can still continue because we really don't know how big the stock, the big loss is. All what we know is that the company has said they have a material and significant exposure to this one, which is going to impact their balance sheet. So much of doing all those fundamentals, looking at those fundamentals, and you get hit by such a big news when banks are just doing the same reckless thing. Because this person who's the family who's running this family office for Wang had another margin call back in 2008 during the housing crisis, financial crisis, and that was again because of excessive leverage which was issued to this particular hedge fund. At the time, he was running a hedge fund, and now it's a family office. So again, the banks are not learning lessons, and then it's like people like us who will be paying the pressure, the price for that one. And then yet you talk about Bitcoin being volatile or being, the people are not being responsible, but banks are not being responsible with their compliance department. It begs that particular question, that how can you really blame a decentralized currency which is very much governed by the people, by the society? So anyways, so let's get back to it. So the opportunity really is in the Credit Suisse and for Deutsche Bank. Both stocks are down. As I said, Credit Suisse is down by over 14%. And I think that the chances are that this particular stock is going to continue to drop even further from here onwards. We could see potentially Credit Suisse dropping all the way perhaps to 9 or 10 within that price range. So that would be really, really good buy. Even now, it's not a bad buy at all because the price has dropped below its 200-day simple moving average. Now, with respect to Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, especially Morgan Stanley was way oversold. So I'd love to see a big correction with respect to Morgan Stanley. And if we do that, I think that could be a really good buy because overall the fundamentals are good. This is not a situation which is going to have a contagion effect, meaning that the situation isn't really going to be overblown. So this is where the noise is in the market and investors are overselling it. I don't think this is a contagion situation where we will see the ripple effect throughout the industry and the market will collapse altogether. No, that is not likely to happen. So any sell-off in these stocks, such as the big companies, so Alibaba, the business model hasn't changed. The business model still remains very, very strong. Tencent, the business model remains very strong. Baidu, business model remains very strong. So these opportunities, these sell-off could be great opportunities to back some of the bargains. And when it comes to delisting these companies from stock exchange, from the US stock exchange, I don't think that is remotely really possible because Biden administration certainly wouldn't do that because they know that the effect of that could be very, very big. Uh, if it was a Trump administration, then I wouldn't have been that much confident. Now, moving away from here and moving into the commodity industry, what we're seeing is that the Suez Canal over in Egypt is finally open. The big vessel, which was really blocking the trade, disrupting the supply chain, is no longer there, and the supply chain is once again restored, or at least getting back on track. Of course, we have a massive, massive backlog. How that is influencing oil prices? Well, oil prices are moving to the downside. And if you remember looking at our previous oil analysis, we talked about oil prices to continue to remain under pressure, to continue to underperform, and still see more downward pressure. And then that is what we are really expecting today as well. So again, more pressure. But the event, which is the most important when it comes to oil prices, is the OPEC meeting, which is going to take place this particular week. What the OPEC will do, the cartel will do, that is the most important question for investors and traders. Of course, the expectation is that they wouldn't really do it, especially that we have the third wave of coronavirus in Europe. So that is the major focus when it comes to commodities, especially with oil prices. Now, let's shift the gear and move into something else, which is Forex. Over in the UK, of course, we have this, there's a lot of optimism of UK's economy opening up, lockdowns being lifted up because now households up to six can really, they can start mixing up together. They can start small gatherings will be allowed from today, very soon. And then from the 12th, restaurants will be also opening up. So again, that is a lot of optimism on the sterling side as well. So possibly we could see the movement to the upside against the dollar, but dollar still remains a very, very strong currency. So you may want to look sterling against the euro because euro is certainly under immense amount of pressure because of ongoing vaccine problems and all those issues. Now, again, let's shift the gear and move into cryptocurrency. Earlier today, I have mentioned and shared some really, really big news when it comes to cryptocurrencies, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. So I highly recommend you to have a look at it. But overall, the summary is institutions are going big. And I think now the 100,000 price level looks even more realistic than it was before. So really, after this consolidation is over, I think the price is really about to bust, and then the 100,000 is literally it's a no-brainer when it comes to Bitcoin. All right, that's all for now. Enjoy your day, and if you like the content, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel because it helps us on Google's algorithm as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place. Thank you.